if lockdown taught us one thing, is that you have no time to play around. Like, when we were on hard lockdown, I've never seen so many home cooks come alive. Everybody became a chef. Everybody had a YouTube channel. Everybody had a podcast. It was lovely to see. It was lovely to see. But in that same breath, I don't think because we're not on lockdown anymore, the hard lockdown that we were at, that any of that should stop. I think really, if anything, we should encourage more of that, because our unemployment situation hasn't changed. Our economy hasn't drastically improved. So all of those things are still very relevant for people who didn't have the opportunities and still don't have the opportunities that maybe other people do. So what we want you guys to do is to shine. But the only way you can do that, you don't need for us to put you under pressure. Put yourself under a bit, you know? My mother always used to say, and God bless her soul, she used to say, if you can start by waking up in the morning, a lot of other things will start happening for themselves. But if you're like in bed, like, I'm not working anyway, so what am I going to stay in bed for? There are people who are doing amazing things out there. There are people who are building the next wave of aircraft, the next generation of aircraft that are going to carry 1,000 people on there. But we don't know because they're keeping it top secret, but they're at work right now doing it, you know? There are people who are writing the next textbooks that are going to teach the future kids better things and better ways of doing things, or teaching teachers how to teach better. Who knows? Who knows? There are people who are creating, you know, gadgets and devices that are going to make our lives even easier than the technology we currently have. But all of those people have something in common, is that they got up and followed something that they believed in. We have one of those people in the studio with us today. She decided, with everything that she does and her busy life, because we all have busy lives, she's going to follow one of her passions, which is writing, because communication is key, and sharing thoughts. Her name is Rhythmica Nikita Ricketts. She's in studio with us, guys. Welcome. Help me welcome her. Welcome. Thank you for joining us and for being early. I love guests who are like, true, I'm at the gate. I'm like, my show hasn't even started. I love it. Thank you so much, and welcome to the program today. I saw a billboard with your face on it, holding your books, and I was like, well, we need to talk to her. Like, whatever she's up to. Like, I like that. I like that. A friend of mine actually sent me a picture of it, and I was like, this is nice. This is nice, you know. It's a statement. It's not just a marketing. It's a statement. Like, you know, you stood up and did what you did. So tell us about how did you get up there? How did you get to that billboard? What is it that brought you there? The literature?
It's the literature. It's the love. It's the passion. I come from a colored community.
Yes.
And my statement is that it doesn't matter where you come from, you can still make it.
Yes.
It's your mindset that needs to change. You need to find yourself. I always say to people when I speak to them, never lose yourself while finding yourself. Because it's easy to go back to where you come from.
Yeah.
But then it's also difficult to go back to where you want to
Ooh.
be based on the challenges of life, the trials, the tribulations.
And when you bounce back and forth.
Yes, it's difficult. You lose yourself in the middle of trying to find yourself again. So my word for advice is never lose yourself while finding yourself.
Oh, man.
My passion for writing started in 2017. I went through a difficult time in my life.
Okay.
And I also come from an abusive home.
Okay.
So I know exactly what
like within the family.
Yes.
Okay.
I know exactly what's it like to have and not to have. But that doesn't define me. I am what I define. So the purpose that God gives us, we should go after it. And
I love it.
It doesn't matter. You don't need to be rich within money, within your bank account. Be rich within yourself. That alone will make you go anywhere you want in life.
Yeah. Look, money has made a lot of people poor because
Yes.
their true characters come out, and you're like, oh
Exactly.
no, shame. This guy
Yeah.
was so much better before all of
Before
that.
all that. And don't allow the fame or anything to
Oh,
get the better of you, because that can be taken away from you in a minute of a second. So don't boost any fame that comes towards you, but rather just inspire people to do better, to be better in life.
Yes.
And that's my challenge and my statement for today. And with the books that I've written is Beautifully Broken,
Yeah.
based on your life.
Yeah.
It's based on your brokenness has beauty to it, because the beauty with it is the message that comes across with it.
There's a Japanese proverb, I think it is. It's about how these vases, or these massive vases from like 4,000 years ago,
Yeah.
that when they dug them up and they found them all really, wrapped up and taken care of, all of them were vases that at some point had broken, but then they were filled in with gold in the cracks
Yes.
and polished, and they looked so beautiful, and then they were preserved. And they said that these vases only became beautiful after they broke, because their true shape came out, and somebody had to work around that to bring the beauty out of it. So somebody had to see the beauty in that. The vase always knew it was beautiful. Something along those lines.
Yes. So, and that's how it is. That's how life is. It knocks you down, but just keep getting up.
Yes.
Keep pushing forward. Go for your dream. Don't let anyone bring you down. Push for it. I mean, I have a lot of criticism out there. I have it.
Yeah.
I know what's it like.
Yeah.
But just because you said something bad about me, I'm gonna still go, because it's my life, it's my passion,
Yes.
it's my path, and I'm walking it alone. Because at the end of the day, when we leave this earth, we're gonna leave alone. Without
And you
those
came here
people.
by yourself.
Exactly. So
And
that's just
everything
how it
you've
is.
accumulated and every friend you have, those people might still be here, but your journey continues further by yourself.
Yeah.
And all you have is your faith, and everything that you are as a soul. So 2017, you started your journey of writing. What inspired you to pick up the pen? Or okay, it's not the pen anymore, is it? But
Well,
or the typewriter.
in 2017, I challenged myself.
Yeah.
I went on a fast for 40 days and 40 nights.
Okay.
And that's without eating anything. That's just having water on its own. And I just started reading my Bible. Now, when I was 16, and I can still remember this day because I was in town, and I told myself, if I were to be a writer, I know what my chapters will be. It
Oh,
will be
wow.
love, life, and relationships.
Oh, wow.
But I never knew the title of the book. So as I was reading my Bible, it just came across my mind again.
Wow.
And then immediately I started writing.
Yes.
And then obviously when I was listening to TD Jakes, Sarah Jakes, then there was a message within the sermons, and I knew, okay, Beautifully Broken. That's the title. So you see, when God starts working within you, things become visible to you.
Yes.
Be it in a person, be it in a message, in a book, or anywhere, it becomes visible to you.
Sure.
So that's why I actually found Beautifully Broken. And the chapters were something I had a thought when I was 16, and it became visible in 2017.
And it all just flowed out of you onto the
Exactly.
paper.
It
Sure.
just came like that naturally. When I even read my books today, I'm actually surprised at myself. Like, where did all these words come from? Like, is this me? So, yeah. And then ever since then, and then in 2019, I launched my second book,
Yes.
which was God Within,
Yeah.
which is based on His miracles and what He can do for you. Every night when I pray, I always say, God, when people see me or when they look at me, may they see your light shine through me.
Oh, wow.
Because we are a representative of God
Yes.
anyway. So we need to start walking in His purpose
Yes.
first. We need to start walking in faith so that we create followers and believers to that same goal. Because even in leadership, I always say to the staff at work is that we're in leadership. So we need to create followers.
Yes.
So one day we are not there, that those people can follow in the exact same footsteps that we are. And then now in 2022, I launched now God Rose Me.
Yes.
And God Rose Me is, guys, even if you're living on the street, God can He can rise you from that minute. If you listen to Steve Harvey, he literally lived in his car. And
Yes.
look at him today. He has risen. God has risen. So God rose us. So we need to believe that God has a purpose for all of us, and we need to push ourselves to get there.
And it's so amazing that the messaging. You would think that somebody sat down and thought about it forever, but this is really just the kind of common sense that comes with believing.
Yes.
and it's the words that you understand and you can speak on a daily basis and don't get tired of it because it's speaking to the heart and soul of people.
Yes.
Yeah. And so where do you draw inspiration from when it comes to literature when you get stuck? Because sometimes you want to say something but you don't want to rush through it and not say it the way you want to say it.
Yes. I love music.
Okay.
So it comes from there. I love socializing
Because
with
if you have a
people.
soundtrack, something always happens.
Yeah, there's always a soundtrack in something. And then obviously poetry. I love poetry as well.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of inspiration that comes from different sides, and
Mhm.
you combine that into one message that can stipulate to everyone out there.
Ah,
Yeah.
man. Oh man,
So
it's so
that's just
beautiful.
how it all starts with me.
And then are you self-published or are you working with any kind of companies that are helping you push your books?
Yes, currently I'm working with Harry's Printers.
Okay.
So they've been publishing my books and they've actually taken it within stores now. So it's being sold
So you
from
can
there.
shout out to them. That's
Yes.
big. That's
So the
big.
main aim at the end of the day is obviously is to feature in com
Yes.
books. And
Yes.
that's another journey on its own.
Mm.
But if you believe, I know I'll get there, but obviously it's going to come with punches, but you have to fix your punches.
And it's a journey.
Yeah,
It's a journey. If that's where your first book ends up, then your drive is to it's like missing some of your steps. You want to experience that, and you want to grow the way that you're growing, so that by the time you get there, the story you have to tell
Yeah.
is even better. And shout out to all the companies which are supporting literature, guys. I still say we are not writing enough books.
It's not.
Our generation is not even reading enough, let alone writing. So I'm encouraging those of you who have that passion, push it, guys. Don't think about it anymore. Start writing. You are good enough. You know that you are. But we just need that book.
Yeah.
We just need that book. And what's the best part of being a writer for you?
The best part about being a writer is knowing that you can actually touch someone's life.
Oh man.
Because that's the main aim. At the end of the day, the glory is not yours, it's God's.
Mm.
Because He puts that message within you.
Yes.
So you are His vessel. So I'm used as His vessel to send out His word and to bring people nearer to Him. And to, like any day, like anyone can pick up the book and let's say, for example, they're going through a tough time. That book can actually save that person from suicidal.
Yes.
So that's the message, is having to save someone, having to touch someone so that they too can believe.
And or even sparking something in someone that makes them see how great they are through the message that was sent there. There's nothing better than that. Like for somebody when they meet you to be like, I don't think you know this, but after reading this, I realized what you were trying to say about me. Like, oh, well,
So yeah, it goes like that.
that's amazing. And who are your books directed for? Like who at the core of the message are these books really for?
Well, each book it's for different people. The first one, Beautifully Broken, is for based for broken people. So when
People who have been through pain and
who's
tough
been
times and
who's been where life knocks you
abuse
down.
and things of that nature.
Yes. And then the second one, God Within, is directed to God, because within Him, within us, we are nothing. Our thoughts are not our own sometimes. Sometimes they are theirs, and He will allow your lips to move to send out that message on its own. And then God Rose Me is for everyone who has been broken down, who has been fallen short of life's challenges and the trials that came with it. We are all there.
Wow.
So I think all three books actually speaks to all of us. So it depends on which book you want to pick up.
And do you have to read them in any particular order?
No.
They don't follow. It's not a set of rules.
No.
It's not a set of rules.
Not at all.
So you can revisit them and different chapters of them at any time to kind of tap into wherever you are at the time. And the kind of response that you've been getting from people who have gone through some of your literature, what's some of the feedback that people give you?
Well, the most common one is, where do you get the words from?
Yeah.
And that is something I always tell people. that I may not know what is written in page 6 because I myself have to study it.
Sure.
Because when you're in a spiritual realm, you don't know exactly what you're writing, but you know it's something. And when you go back to it, you're like actually shocked. Oh my word, this actually makes sense.
It's almost like you're translating at the time, so you're not really processing the entire message. You're putting
Yeah.
it down.
So when I'm done and compiling the book, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so shocked at myself. Like till today, I cannot believe any of this. I'm still
Wow.
shocked, but
Wow.
I'm not gonna let it get it to my head
Of
because there
course.
is no reason for it. Because that's a message for someone else out there,
Mm.
and that message needs to save someone, not myself.
Mm.
Because I know my Savior is above me,
Oh, yes.
and He died on the cross of Calvary for us,
Mm.
and that's the most
Mm.
beautiful thing
Mm.
anyone could have ever done for us.
That ultimate sacrifice.
Yes, He died. He nailed Himself to the cross. So it's beautiful.
That is awesome. Your family must be proud of you.
Yes, they are. Yes, they
Um,
are.
and like you say, even with a tough background within the family, I'm sure this has been a sort of a healing process.
Yes, for everyone, like even in the community,
Oh,
it's
wow.
this. It's just marvelous in the sense that I know her. I know what she's been through, and she's pushing every day. They keep on telling me, "You're so tough. Don't let life get to you." Even sometimes I do feel despondent. I won't lie.
Yes, we all have moments of
And then they will
weakness.
tell
And
me, "Mika, you tough." Then I would always like, to what extent should I still be tough? I've been through everything that you can
how much
imagine
more tough do I have to
to
be?
be. But you have to still keep pushing. At the end of the day, our strength is within God.
And sometimes you think that you're being strong for yourself. Kind when you look behind you, you're carrying half the world with you because they're on your shoulders. And sometimes you don't realize that. You get caught up in your head and you're like, this world is so heavy. Why? When you
Yeah.
turn around and you see the multitudes of people that you're carrying on your shoulders, that's a moment where you're like, well, I can't stop now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we expecting more from you?
Yes.
I mean, this surely this is not a
This is
full
not the
stop of
end.
any kind.
None.
Just the end of a chapter.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's still 2 more coming.
Okay.
The last one, definitely, I want to push myself to a novel.
Okay.
So I'll see how that goes. I don't know the chapters. I
Yeah.
don't know the title.
But your direction is towards
But
a
that's
novel.
the direction, yes.
Mm.
And then obviously the 4th one, I know and I believe I've already set out that title, which is The Miracle Within Ourselves.
Wow.
So
Wow.
I'm waiting for whatever comes so that I can write based on that title.
So that one is about breakthroughs.
Yes.
I see.
On its own.
I see. The philosophy is there. I love it because it makes so much sense. It's like we're speaking. It's like you're not speaking about books that you've written. It's like you're speaking about ideas that you still have.
Yes.
God, it's really there.
Yeah,
in
and we
black
need to
and
speak into
white.
existence these days. So yeah.
I love that. I love that. Where and how can people get a hold of you? And how can they get a hold of your literature?
I do have a link on my Facebook page.
Mhm.
They can also email me at rickettsrhythmica@gmail.com. They can also contact me on 073-7927-192.
Okay.
Yes, and
Or
obviously
put that in the
book
comment section as well,
Yes.
so that those people who stream this interview later will also be able to get a hold of you there. And what do you have to say to the people watching, and maybe those who aren't, but who need a word or two of the kind of grace and wisdom that you carry when you speak to people?
My message for the world today is to say thank you for even still being alive. Thank you that you didn't allow life to break you to a point where you felt suicidal. Because I know what's it like to be there and to be at your rock bottom. And I said previously on the show is that never lose yourself while finding yourself. Don't go back to what you came from, but rather push and going forward, hold that hand, hold God's hand spiritually. And you'll find God will send people into your life to evaluate you to your next level. Always ask God for guidance and wisdom and knowledge, and surely He will give it to you. I've been there. So when you do pray, just thank God and ask Him for the right people to step into your life, and just never lose yourself while finding yourself.
The pain can't break you.
No, it can only make you stronger.
um, painful words, harmful language.
It just touches your skin and then it falls off.
You know, tough times.
Nothing.
They're only there to stand in your way. Darkness.
There's light always at the end of the time.
So if you were listening to any of this, and I know that people are going to play this over and over, take that with you, that you shouldn't lose yourself trying to find yourself, because then you won't know who yourself is anymore.
Exactly, you will be lost.
Thank you so much. We needed this morning.
Didn't
realize how much. Now we know.
Thank you.
Her name is Rhythmica Nikita Ricketts. She is one of our guests this morning, and somebody who is doing amazing work for the soul, for the spirit, for the community, and the literary community as well. Because those who are listening, who are like, I've been talking about writing a book for 10 years and I haven't even put one word down. I think it's about time.
We start writing.
We want to buy your books. That's the thing. We want to support you. We want to support you. We want to come to your signing, your book launch. We want to see your book on shelves. We want to talk about your literature to other people on a first-hand basis. Like, I got that book. She signed mine.
Yeah.
So yeah, we want to be equally proud of you as we are of Mika. And we want to bring reading back to its importance. I don't think what died was reading. I think the importance of having a hard copy of something is what faded away, and that's not what we use in our handheld devices for anymore. I mean, ebooks and things of that nature. Yes, there is a market for it, but not like when you have a paperback or a hard copy in your hand and you're paging through and you know where you were, and when the next time you revisit, you're like, oh yes, I remember that. You know, that excitement. It's all about that, and it's all about reminding ourselves that there's a bigger purpose here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care.
This is KNR Radio according to you.
At 20 minutes